Hi, and welcome to BB's Crafty Haven. I am Belinda, and today I have some summer flower DIYs for you. The funny thing about these is that I had an idea of what I wanted to do, but I wasn't quite sure where I was leading to in these, so some of these, they were fun to do. I got a little frustrated with some of them, but they turned out beautiful. I'm actually very happy with the end product, even though I wasn't sure exactly where I was going to go with these, but usually that's what happens in DIYs. You have one direction, then you end up turning into a whole other direction. Anyways, I want to thank you all for stopping by. Hello to all my subscribers, and thank you for subscribing. If you have not subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button for me. Give me a thumbs up to help my channel grow. I think that's it. I'm just happy you guys all stopped by to watch me today. Thank you so much. And with that, let's get on with some summer flower DIYs. Last minute, I decided to make this video my first video for What Would You Make challenge, my first time doing this. Our host is Brenda from Rustic and Lace DIY, Christine from Divine Designs, and our guest host today is Joanne's DIY Life. Again, this is my first time doing this challenge, and everything needs to have some type of wood in every craft. So with that, let's get on with this show. DIY number 1. We're going to start out with 2 of those boxes from Dollar Tree. And I am going to paint them in my white from Apple Barrel. Once I get those painted, and I painted just the sides, 2 of the sides and 1 of the ends. The one end that I'm putting the wood glue on and hot glue mixture, we're going to put those 2 boxes together. And I'm going to use some clamps to keep them held together while they dry. And then we're going to set that aside. Next, we will take those clothespins from Dollar Tree, and I took 13 of them, I believe, and I took them apart, and then I used wood glue to put them back together, to put the 2 flat ends together. This is what I'm trying to do. Hopefully I'm explaining this correctly. I just took some wood glue and kind of spreaded it out with my fingers so it wouldn't go everywhere, but it still did. I still squished it through. But see the 2 flat ends? And I just piece them together. And again, I do 13 of those. And I wipe off the excess. And I think I'm going to show you the second one. And we're just going to piece those together. Then we will take yellow from Apple Barrel, and we're going to paint all of those. Once I get those painted, I'm going to take pumpkin from Apple Barrel, and we're going to dry brush the top of all these. You don't need to worry about painting the back, just the front and the sides, and dry brushing just the top. I don't think I did anything on the sides. But after that, I'm going to take my wax from Folk Art, and we are going to do the exact same thing. We are going to dry brush that on all of these. And I dry brush it on all of it. I don't know why I'm just doing the bottom of those, but I do the whole thing. Then I'm going to take my white from Apple Barrel, and we're going to do the exact same thing. And I think I know I look like I think I just do the edges. Like, yeah, I just do the edges with the white. I don't think I go all over. But after that, we're going to take these palettes that you can get from Dollar Tree. We're going to take 3 of them, and we're going to paint them all in white. Once we get those painted, we're going to bring back our box, and I'm going to take gray granite from Apple Barrel, and we are going to dry brush that all over the crate and palettes. Kind of distressing look. And then I took this round I got from Hobby Lobby, and I clipped off the end of one of them, just using my clippers, so it would have a flat bottom. and I'm going to paint that in my wax. Once we get that done, I'm going to take my round and wood glue and hot glue that on the middle of those boxes. Now I wish I would have put the paper clips around first and then stuck that on top of the paper clips, but that's hindsight. It still turned out very cute. But we're going to put that down with some wood glue and hot glue like I just said. And then I'm going to take, so I try not to make too much of a mess. I took some wood glue and put it on my table mat, and I'm just going to brush it onto the paper clips, and we're going to put those all the way around that brown half round. Brown half round. Okay, sorry. I don't know why I got a kick out of that. But we're just going to put the two ends, like that flat end right there, kind of touching the other paper clip. And that's going to go all the way around that. And this is what it looks like when it's finished. We have a beautiful sunflower. And then I'm going to take my palettes, and we are going to put them on the back end of those boxes, kind of like a fence. And I use wood glue for this. And I don't think I put any hot glue. I think it's all wood glue. And I just kind of spread it around. And the first one I put in the center. I center it so I can set the other two on the other side of it. But what I do to this one, I do to the other ones, because I do want that to hang over a little bit, the two ends, and you'll find out why. There's a reason behind it. So I kind of center that in right there, and it does hang over a little bit, but like I said, that's what you want. Then we're going to take these wood dowels. They're square wood dowels. They're like 1/4 and 12 inches long. Now I only showing 2, but you're actually going to need 3. And I painted them in the white from Apple Barrel. And we're going to put that on the end, right there where it sticks out. And I do paint that bottom part. I don't know why I didn't paint it. And then I secure it with some hot glue. And you're going to put that on each end. And then, oh, okay, I must have cut out footage. I took the third and cut it across the top. And I took those hooks and I put those hooks in there, and okay, I lost more footage. I had a welcome sign that I painted black from Apple Barrel and some jute rope, and I hung it on those things. And wow, okay, I have no idea what happened to this one editing. I took floral foam and put flowers in from Dollar Tree. I took moss and added it. Here I'm showing you that I ended up stapling that dowel right on to make sure it stayed, because the welcome sign did have a little weight to it, and I apologize for that. DIY number 2. Here we're going to take, sorry, I'm still over the fact that I lost a lot of footage there. We're going to take 8 of those stir sticks, actually 10, but right now I'm just showing you 8. And we are going to piece those together. And I'm going to use popsicle sticks, and I'm going to use a combination of wood glue and hot glue to connect those all in. And here I'm just showing you how I laid them out so we could connect all those stir sticks together. And then once I get those connected, wood glue and hot glue, I'm going to flip it over. And of course, I didn't wait for it to dry. As you can see, some of the sticks moved and some of the popsicle sticks moved and everything. But so wait till it dries before you flip it. That would be my suggestion. But I did it anyways. I flipped it anyways. I was just careful about it. And then I just take my, oh, okay, sorry. I took 2 more stir sticks and I cut them to fit the insides, or top and bottom, you want to say. And we're going to wood glue and hot glue those on as well. This also stabilizes those sticks too. And then I want to paint it all in my white from Apple Barrel. Once I get it painted white, I'm going to dry brush my wax all over it. We're going to dirty it up. And I don't think I show all the footage of that either, but because it's just dry brushing, you guys know how to do that. But I do go thick on the edges and corners, which I don't think I show, but you know what you're doing when you dry brush across, I'm pretty sure. And we're going to set that aside. Oh, I got this so cute. Oh my God. I got this at Dollar General, and it's got these little garden things. It's so cute. But I'm going to attach those to the side of our little board. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hand screwdriver and screw holes on either side of those. And then I'm going to take some, see, I'm showing you the holes, just in case you didn't know what a hole looked like. Then I'm going to take jute, and I put some tape on the end, and we're just going to feed that through there, basically almost like sewing. We're going to go through one side and then go through the other hole once I get it pulled through. And then see how that's going to go? It's going to go in there, and we're just going to tie the end. And I did have a little trouble getting that through, but I think the hole, yeah, I had to rescrew the hole because it wasn't large enough. And then once we get that through, we're going to put the little shovel in between that and hook that in. Once we get that, I did tie a double knot, and I tied it extremely tight. And then I'm going to take some hot glue, and I'm going to put a ton of hot glue onto that knot. And then to secure it even better, I took some painter's tape, painter's tape, and I put over top of that while the glue was still hot. And then I cut off that extra jute that's hanging there. But what I do to one side, I do to the other, and I don't think I show both because it's basically a duplicate. But see how I got that tied on? Once I get both of those, I made these on my Cricut, and I don't even know why I use my Cricut half the time. I hate my Cricut. I'm horrible at using it, but I'm going to take that flower and put that in the center, but I actually end up kind of covering that up. You actually end up not seeing it, so you don't really have to do that part. But yeah, I have a heck of a time, and a lot of unchoiced words come out when I use my Cricut. But this is what it looks like when I get all that stuff on there. And of course, if you don't have a Cricut, you can use stickers. But then this is where I was looking at it. I was like, this looks so plain. So I thought it needed color. So I added some purple flowers I got from Dollar Tree, and I wrapped jute around the bottom. And I'm just going to take some hot glue and just stick it right there at the end of the printed flowers I put on. You can still see them, and I think it's a cool background against those purple flowers. So it turned out really good. That bow I got off of Amazon. I got a pack of them years ago. It's just something I've had in my stash like forever. And I just take some hot glue and I hot glue that down. And then I'm going to take a black button and I'm going to glue that into the middle of our bow. Eventually. I promise. And I just take hot glue and I do that once I find the button that I like. But we're not done yet. Don't worry, this project's not over yet. So I end up taking a purple button, a smaller one, and sticking it in to the black button. I thought that was a kind of cute, colorful idea. And then no, we are not done yet because there's no one there to stop me from keep going. So I then take some jute and I just tied some regular bows, shoestring bows, and I'm going to put those on the top to cover that's holding the gardening tools together. And I just hot glue that on the top, and of course I cut those tails off. I do leave them kind of long, but not that long because that's pretty long. That's even bigger than a board. But see, I cut those down, and I do put a hanger on it, and I don't think I show that. But that is it for this project. Let me know in the description box below what you think. I think this is actually one of my favorites. I think this turned out so cute. I love it. DIY number 3. Okay, I got these at Hobby Lobby, and they were kind of expensive, like $3.99 a piece, which normally I wouldn't spend. But I'm going to take my black from Apple Barrel, and I'm just going to paint the edges. And what I do to one, I do to the other, and I just kind of go around the edges and paint those black. And I do that on the top and bottom of the bucket and the top and bottom of the watering can as well. And I believe I go around the little spigot at the top. I don't know what you call that. But once I get that done, see, that's what it looks like. And here we got both of them done. And then all I'm going to do is, I'm not done with the black. I'm just going to take it and make little black spots all over the watering can and the bucket. Kind of making it look kind of rustic, but old. And of course, what I do to one, I will do to the other. These are a matching set. At least that's what I'm making them out to be. And like I said, I go all over them. Then I'm going to take my brown. I think this is nutmeg from Apple Barrel. And then I'm going to take it and make it look even older. And I'm going to go around, especially around the places that have the handles, and a little bit around the bottom and around the black dots that I put on there, to try to make it look even more rustic. And of course, again, what I do to one, I do to the other. I'm pretty I don't know what you want to call it, repetitious? I don't know. Anyways, once I get that done, I didn't think they were rustic enough, so I took my wax and I dry brushed it all over the bucket and watering can to make it look even more rustic and old. And then I took, to make sure those all stay and that paint stays, I did take some Mod Podge and Mod Podge those. Both of them, all over. Okay, here's my watering can. And I'm going to take a marker, and I'm going to mark 2 holes into that. Well, yeah, I'm going to put 2 dots on the watering can. And then I'm going to take a nail and a hammer and hammer a hole, those 2 holes where I've got it marked. I wish I had a bigger nail, but this is what I had on hand. Because the holes were not really big enough with that nail. I just needed something to get it started. So once I got that done, to make those holes a little bigger, I did use, I don't even know what this tool's called. But it's got a pointed end, and I just took that and put that in there and widened that hole a little bit. Once I get that hole widened, I'm going to take some painter's tape and I'm going to place it over top of the holes. And then I'm going to take my marker and I'm going to mark where those holes are. And then, I actually think this is pretty genius. I saw this on, I forget where I saw this at, but I actually saw this on like a YouTube channel once. But anyways, I want to mark where I have that water can, and then I'm going to flip that tape over where I want that watering can. And where those 2 dots are is where I'm going to drill through. Now that bamboo thing that you get from Dollar Tree, which by the way, I put a little bit of wax on it and obviously didn't show that, is a little hard. I actually recommend using electric drill because that was a pain in the butt. And again, some choice words came out that shouldn't have. Lord forgive me for that. Then I'm going to take my jute and I put tape on the end, and I'm going to feed that through. Basically, almost like I did on the second project we did with the tools. I'm basically going to do the same thing with this watering can. I'm going to feed it through both of those holes, and I put tape on both ends so I can feed that through. And then once I get that fed through the can, I'm going to feed them through the board. And for some reason, that second hole, like on the second hole and the other one, was not big enough. I had to re-drill it. But anyways, once we get that on, I'm going to tie a very, very tight double knot, as tight as I can get it, which would have been helpful if I had a second finger or third hand. But anyways, I do the same thing. I tie a knot, I put the hot glue, and then I put the tape. And then I cut off that extra jute, you see. And then I will, not sure yet. I can't remember what I do next. But once I got that can hanging, isn't that cute? I take that platform or whatever you call it. You get it from Dollar Tree. I also took wax on that. I have 3 tumbling tower blocks. I put wax on those. And I'm just going to take some wood glue and connect those together. I'm going to put 2 ends together and then stack one on top in the middle. And this is going to be our backing for our cutting board to help it stand up straight. And the reason I use the jute on the watering can, because if a lot of you know, metal and hot glue don't mix, and I'm impatient, so I didn't want to use stronger glue and wait overnight. So you can do that if you don't want to drill the holes, by the way. That's just an alternative. But I think the rope is holding up great. So here we go. We're going to put this on our little platform that we got from Dollar Tree. I want to put my bucket down first because I want to measure how far I want that board on the platform, if that makes sense. I'm going to mark it so I know where to put my glue. And at first, I didn't mark it dark enough, so I had to put it back and mark it again. So I mark it there. And then I'm going to do the same with the board and the blocks, I believe, but I think I glue it down first. Yeah, and I use a combination of the wood glue and hot glue so I can get that immediate and permanent hold, because I have patience of -10. I have no patience for anything. So once I get that on and set, I'm going to take that and I'm going to put wood glue and hot glue on the bottom of that too. And I'm going to first mark where I need to put my glue. And then I'm going to put wood glue and hot glue on the end of that. Also, yeah, on the top of the board so it connects to the tumbling tower blocks. Dude, this thing is like really sturdy. This thing's not going nowhere. So I did that. And then I wipe off all the excess glue around the edges. Once I get that done, okay, see there's a little dip in that bucket. And of course, hot glue doesn't stick to metal. So I had to take those pieces I cut off of those stir sticks and Project 2. And I'm going to take that adhesive glue you can get from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to put that first one down with that, and to help it stay. I also use some hot glue so I can get a permanent hold at first, because I kind of need that until that adhesive glue sticks. And then all I use for the second one, so it can be even, so it can sit flat, is I just take the wood glue and hot glue. And that evens it, and it sits perfect on that wood platform. And then I just take wood glue and hot glue again and connect it to our platform. It worked out pretty perfect. And then, hopefully I didn't lose any footage of this. I had a lot of problems with this one. I don't know what was wrong with me. My editing, I forgot to turn the camera on once. These 3 projects gave me a headache, let me tell you that much. Okay, that's what it looks like. It's so cute. Oh my god. Okay, and I used my Cricut again, and again I used a lot of unchoiced words. Lord forgive me. I don't know why I have so much trouble. I've watched so many tutorials and I still have an issue with my Cricut. It's like I'm definitely not smarter than my Cricut. But anyways, I put that on the top corner once I can get it off the paper, onto the transfer paper, which I eventually do, I promise. And then I stick it on the board, which I have, what do I have? Wax. So it doesn't want to stick. Another issue. Not pretty. But I did eventually get it. And I think I put Mod Podge on top of it to help seal it. And then I take some floral foam, and those flowers you see off to the side, I actually got those on Amazon, not from Dollar Tree. And I fill not only the bucket, but I fill the watering can too, and I use moss as well to fill in some of the holes and gaps. And okay, I didn't show it. Oh, those I got off a Dollar Tree. They're little pots, and I already glued down 2. See, I forgot to turn on the friggin' camera. Oh no, I didn't glue them down, but I did forget to turn the camera on when I was doing the flowers and stuff. But we're gonna put 2 of them up and 2 of them down, and then I put moss into those, and it looks like the moss is spilling out of the one. And that is it for this project. Please let me know in the description box below what you think. This is definitely my second favorite of this. I love it. I think it turned out beautiful. Please comment below. And here we are to our summer flower DIYs final reveal. Here's everything we did today. Again, please let me know what you think in the comment box. And please remember to give me a thumbs up. Also, go to my description box to see the playlist for What Would You Make Challenge and watch everybody and give them a thumbs up too, because it really helps their channel grow as well. Giving us a thumbs up doesn't take long. It's just hit that thumbs up button after you watch it or before you watch it, please. Thank you for watching and stopping by. I love all of you. I'll see you guys on my next video. Thank you.